What's up, you guys, and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, hello, and if you're not new here, welcome back. My name is Des, I go by DesBFit, and you have stumbled across my YouTube channel. So stick around for today's video. If you haven't already, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and click the little bell so you never miss a video from me. But for today, we're gonna be talking about meal prep, how to hit your macros, and how to crush it. I get so many messages on my DMs about meal prepping, what I eat, how to accomplish it, how to crush it. So I'm here to give you guys a few tips on how to really smack your meal plan right in the face and crush it. So first and foremost, to crush a meal prep plan or to plan your meal prep, you need to first create a day of the week that is going to be your designated meal prep day. Typically you can do this one time a week, but I would suggest doing it 2 times a week so that your food stays fresh and that doesn't go bad, because then you can get sick and that's not good. So make sure that you designate a day where you really plan out what you need to get from the grocery store, when you need to cook it, how long you need to plan to cook it, have containers to cook it, and then have it all done. For example, let's pretend like we are gonna do a meal prep on a Sunday. Things that you should look for in your meal prep items are things that'll stay good long, easy to cook, as well as easy to separate into separate containers. Some of these things might include stuff like sweet potatoes, russet potatoes, golden potatoes, rice, chicken, broccoli, asparagus, green beans, cereal, I don't know, whatever you can split up, it's probably gonna be meal prep material. Something that's really nice and easy for me to meal prep is always gonna be the typical bro meal of chicken and rice. Now that sounds really bland, but you can always get creative with it and what you're topping it with as well as pairing it with. So I love to top my things with cottage cheese, I love to top them with salsa, honey mustard, regular mustard, sugar-free ketchup, as well as other spices. Instead of just having it be really plain and kind of plain Jane bro meal, you can always spice it up with what you're topping it with, or also literally spice it up with some hot sauce. One other way to stay on track with meal prep is to have a meal prep bag. This is one of my favorite totes from 6-pack bags. It's huge. It's called the Veronica. It's very cute, very big. There's actually a spot inside for literally like your purse or whatever. It's kind of cute. It has little like weight lifters in there. Pretty cute. And then on this side, when you open it up, there is an actual like refrigerator part. Pull it down, you have some of your meal prep containers, and then you have little ice packs here on the top. So these are really great if you're on the go, if you're a college student, if you're someone that works, or even travels for work. This is great. I've taken this on the airplane as a carry-on a few times, and that was really successful for me to make sure that I got my meals in throughout that day of traveling. But if you're someone that is just out on the go for work and needing some snacks prepped and a meal prepped, that is gonna be perfect for you. Again, that is 6-pack bags. It's called the Veronica tote. What you're gonna look for while you're meal planning is making sure that all your macros can be met in all the meals that you prep. So one thing I would suggest doing is pre-tracking your meals and figure out what you need to take. So the night before you go to bed or during the day before, make sure that you are pre-tracking your macros, figuring out what you're gonna eat for the next day. This not only keeps you accountable for staying on track, but it also helps you figure out what you need to pack so that you're not running around like a crazy woman or man trying to figure out what you need when you could have done it the night before. So what I would suggest, like I said, is pre-tracking and then making sure you go home, have your little container set out, have everything ready, and then you can throw it in that nice bag of yours and then be out the door. When it comes to how to prepare your meals or figure out what meals you want to take, I would definitely make sure that they're either big, heavy meals to fit your macros throughout the day, or break them down into your snacks and your meals. A lot of people have issues hitting your protein. I personally do not, but I also love protein. Some people are just picky. So some great ways that you can meet your protein is making sure that every meal has at least 20 grams in it. Now that's just on occasion that saying your protein goal is about 100 grams. If you're anything less than that, obviously make it modifiable to you. But for a general rule of thumb, anywhere from 15 to 20 grams of protein per meal is gonna be great, not only for the body to be able to synthesize it and use it, but also for you to make sure that you're hitting your goal. Some ways to get protein in are things such as cottage cheese, lean ground beef, turkey, chicken, ham, any type of deli meat, sausage, bacon, tilapia, crab, salmon, shrimp, and other things that you wouldn't even think of, like bread. Some breads have proteins in it, especially Ezekiel sprouted grains, like Laughing Cow cheese. Per wedge, there's even like 2 protein in it. So you'd be surprised at how many things have protein in it that you're not necessarily always looking for. So those are called trace protein sources. That means that there's actually a lot of protein in them that you're not necessarily always marketed for. I hope that that helps you guys figure out how to kind of hit your protein mark. But in terms of meal prepping, when it comes down to it, it really is a lot of, yes, preparation, but you want to make sure that you're getting the most bang for your buck. So the amount of food that you do prep, you want to make sure that you're spending it in a timely amount so that you're not, you know, spending 5 hours in the kitchen every single Sunday when you could have it knocked out in, you know, an hour or 2. Think of things that you can set in the crock pot or set in the oven, things that you don't necessarily have to tend to and be slaving over a stove. So what I like to do is make sure that if I am cooking things in bulk at one point in time, it is big things like potatoes, spaghetti squash, shredded chicken in a crock pot, or anything that, you know, you don't really have to like hold your head over. Now for me, I don't personally meal prep a lot just because I work from home, so when I want something, I just cook it up, but I still do meal prep in terms of when I do make my protein, that is the protein that's typically lasting me for about 5 to 7 days. So I do make sure that I'm still preparing those. Last key tip for meal prepping is obviously making sure that you've got the containers for it. You want to make sure that you head over to Amazon or head to your local Walmart or Target and grab some meal prep containers. These don't have to be anything super fancy. They can just be like the Ziploc meal tub containers. Just make sure that it's anything where you can either hold a meal or where you can hold storage. So holding a meal meaning like putting your chicken and rice in there, holding storage meaning like putting your extra rice away or putting your extra meats away so that you can have your whole refrigerator all organized and pretty. If you're like me, I get a little bit of OCD, so when all my stuff is aligned and almost like color coordinated, it just kind of toots my horn. Meal prepping is a great way to stay on track. It's a great way to figure out what meals you like, and it's also a great way to make sure that you're staying accountable to the diet or lifestyle that you're trying to change. It's easy when you don't have your meals packed to see something like at work or on a reception counter like candy, but when you have your meals pre-packaged and tracked, it kind of keeps you accountable to be like, nope, I can't do it, I already have it. Now, there is the beauty of life called balance, and at that point, you know, if there's one day where a friend asks you to go out to birthday dinner with her, that is a point where, you know, you just say yeah and you live your life. But for the most part, if you're trying to find a balance in your healthy lifestyle, I think that meal prepping is a great way to stay on track. It really helps you stay on time and on task, but I also think that it helps you figure out what works best for you and finding out your own personal groove in your schedule. I hope that that helped you guys with a little bit of tips and tricks for meal prepping. It's such a hot topic to kind of dwindle down, especially in the fitness industry, but meal prepping is a great way, like I said, to stay on track, and it's also a great way to learn about what works best for you. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to drop them below. Thank you for being here. I can't wait to see you in the next video. Let me know if you have any other ideas or any other requests on what you want to hear. Thank you for supporting me and my new puppers, and make sure that you follow me on Instagram for other fit tips, fun, and inspiration.